Elon. I'm Brennan McDavid.
And I'm Alex Rose.
Here's what we're following tonight on Elon Local News. Helping the community, how one local food pantry is expanding their services.
You see the bio bus every day, but behind the wheel is a story of a driver that may come as a surprise. We'll have that coming up.
And later in the show, if you wanted to travel back in time this weekend, you only had to go a few minutes off campus.
All these stories and more, Elon Local News starts right now. It's a movement that started in North Carolina over the summer, and now it's here in Burlington.
Our Jason Puckett is live downtown at Moral Monday protests. Jason, what can you tell us?
Alex and Brennan, forward together, not one back. That's the motto they've been chanting here tonight in downtown Burlington. I don't know if you can tell, but this is the back amphitheater, and it is packed. They were expecting about 250 people tonight, and it seems like they have far exceeded that number. Now, Moral Monday protests started this summer as protests against bills signed by Governor Crawley. They changed social programs and voter rights here in North Carolina. But the local organizers say it's not the number of people here that matter, it's the issues being discussed.
A lot of it is taxes, budget cuts on the education system, voting rights, abortion restrictions, like racial justice.
And it's for these reasons that Senior Paige Host is at the Burlington Moral Monday tonight. Burlington may be a small town, but it's seen a lot of support from Elon students.
The head guy, like who's running this, his name's Noah. He was thrilled, like beyond thrilled that we were there, because they think of like Elon as like a whole like separate universe kind of.
Host says she knows of 3 other Elon students attending the event. As a requirement for a class, they all helped organize the protest.
It's kind of interesting to see how these people are like driving together and like all gathering up towards this like common goal to like protest against these pieces of legislation.
The protests claim to be peaceful, but there have been more than 800 arrests so far this year. Burlington police said they will be stepping up police force in the area a little bit, but they don't expect any problems whatsoever.
Thank you, Jason. Tonight's protest in Burlington will continue until 8. The North Carolina State Fair in Raleigh made national headlines this week. Earlier this morning, a part of one of the Vortex rides fell and injured a worker. Another Vortex ride injured 5 people at the fair last Thursday. According to WRAL, 3 of those 5 people are still in the hospital. WRAL also reports fair worker Timothy Dwayne Tudoro is facing charges of assault with a deadly weapon. Police believe he tampered with the ride as people were starting to get off.
If you were at Holly Hill Mall on Saturday, you might have seen food being unloaded. And no, it wasn't for a new food court. Our Carly Hillier joins us in the studio with the story. Carly?
Thanks, Brennan. Now, when Alamance County's biggest food distributor, Loaves and Fishes, closed its doors in August, many community members worried about where they'd get their next meal. But local food bank Allied Churches stepped in to help out this weekend. Saturday morning, they opened their first off-site food pantry for the community. And now, a vacant store in Holly Hill Mall has become the new hub for the food bank.
Well, just from walking in at 10 o'clock and it being wonderful and amazing, I think today is going to be a great day. I think the community, has been looking for a way to really outpour and give back.
Shannon Smith couldn't tell you how much food came through the doors of the new Allied Churches food pantry Saturday. It was lost in her excitement.
I don't know. I stopped counting.
Volunteers say more than 3,000 pounds of donated food lined the pantry shelves before noon. The shelves may look a bit empty, but that's because this new pantry can hold 10 times the amount of food as the on-site location on Church Street and Webb Avenue.
There's still people that need food, so this is just a way to continue to get the word out, to have an organized place for the food. We can do groups here, we can just continue on the path of serving others.
Smith says Allied Churches knew they had to expand their services when Loaves and Fishes shut down. In addition to this new pantry, they started offering home-cooked meals twice a day on site.
I see those clients every day that were at the food pantry, the previous food pantry, that are looking for help.
Dozens came out to help on opening day, including Elon volunteers. Sophomore Aubrey Crawley works with allied churches and encourages more of the Elon community to get involved.
It was great to just see the same people every week and hear about how things are going, if they're able to find housing or find a job.
And Smith says the help from students makes all the difference.
If it wasn't for Elon, really, I don't know what we would do.
Smith says allied churches serve more than 1,000 people in September, and they've already topped that amount this month. She says she expects those numbers to rise with 2 pantries up and running. In the studio, I'm Carly Hilliard. Back to you guys.
Thanks, Carly. Some students take the bio bus to get from one side of campus to another, but for one man, it's more than a mode of transportation. It's therapy.
If you've ridden Elon's bio bus, you may recognize this smiling face. Bill Huff has worked at Elon for almost a decade and says it's the students that keep him coming back.
I've loved every minute of it. I love all y'all guys. Y'all special to me.
He drives the West End route Tuesdays and Wednesdays and every other Monday. He used to work more hours, but had to cut back.
I hurt sometimes. Sometimes I get off of work and I hurt.
Huff was diagnosed with stage 3 pancreatic cancer in February. His doctor wanted him to stop working, but Huff says driving the bus is his best therapy.
He didn't want me to work at all. He wanted me to stay home, sit in the chair, and I told him no, 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 no.
Huff still drives his route despite having chemotherapy every other week. He says it's his passengers' kind words that help his fight against cancer.
They ask me every day, Bill, how you feeling today? I said, I feel great. How you doing? Oh, we're feeling good, but we're concerned about you, and we've been praying for you. That means more to me than anything. You could give me $1 million. It means more what them students tell me. We've been praying for you, Bill.
9 months after his diagnosis, the cancer in his pancreas has shrunk, but has spread to his lungs. He's waiting to hear from his doctor about how serious it is. But no matter the results, Huff says he refuses to stop fighting.
I'm trying to beat this. I want to beat this. To me, I don't have no control on me. I got control of it, and this is the way I feel.
Sky Cowens, Elon Local News.
Bill Huff is just one of Elon's many unsung heroes. To hear more stories from people who keep our campus running each and every day, join Elon Local News on December 2nd at 5 p.m. for our special 125th anniversary broadcast. The show will also run here on Channel 5 later that evening at 6.
October's Breast Cancer Awareness Month. Our reporter Ashlyn Vogelsang took a trip off campus where a local family is supporting one another through the fight.
And then I started chemotherapy. I stayed on the chemotherapy machine 4 hours and 45 minutes.
Elon resident May J's cousin was diagnosed with breast cancer 17 years ago.
Go through remission, but it'll come back for some reason.
It's not just breast cancer she's fighting. Cousin also has lung and bone cancer, but she says there's more keeping her alive than just medicine and oxygen tanks.
Oh, family is very important to me because Mama has been, when I first had cancer, she was there for me every day.
Cousin lives with her mother, Adelene, who took care of her during the first years of her diagnosis. But now, at an older age, physical activity is almost impossible.
We have to take care of Mama. She's not able to do anything for us. She can't do nothing. We have to do for her.
Adelene also has cancer and credits her faith with getting her family through the tough times.
You know what, I've tried to take one day at a time. You know, I can't live tomorrow because tomorrow ain't here. So I'm living today to my fullest as I can.
Having cared for friends and family her entire life, Adeline is known for her ability to inspire people.
They said, "You are an angel." And I tell them, I said, well, I get in the mirror and I look and I don't see wings swinging out.
While their battle with cancer has been long and hard, the cousin family has grown even bigger from the support of many loving people.
I mean, it's just like a family.
Ashlyn Vogelsang, Elon Local News.
Several Elon students help the family throughout the year. Adeline says she names the flowers and trees in her yard after the students who come over to lend a hand.
Some Elon students woke up early Saturday morning for a cause. Find out more coming up.
It's almost as good as that.
And later in the show, we'll put you in the driver's seat when bringing you the story of one classic car. Elon experienced both cold and warm temperatures this past weekend, but let's check in with Gary Grumbach for what we can expect for the rest of the week. Gary?
Alex and Brendan, before we get started on today's weather, we're going to take a look at weather from 1 year ago today. Back in 2012, folks in New Jersey, New York, and across the eastern seaboard were preparing for Hurricane Sandy. Superstorm Sandy made its landfall in New Jersey a year ago tomorrow, causing more than $65 billion in damage across the eastern seaboard. Elon Jr. Marissa Stefanelli's beach house was damaged, and she says even a year later, conditions are the same. Back at Elon, temperatures were in the mid-60s today, and right now in downtown Elon, it's cooled off to about 63 degrees. But tonight, it could get as cold as the low 50s. Now let's take a look at the rest of your Phoenix 5-day forecast. We can expect more mild North Carolina weather this week with highs of 71 degrees and a low of 51. But it's going to be a little cooler Tuesday morning with temperatures around 50 degrees, so you might want to bring a light jacket to college coffee. Wednesday is going to look like the best day of the week with a high around 70 and lows in the mid-50s. Halloween on Thursday is going to be more of the same. That night when you're out celebrating, be sure to bundle up because it's going to be about 60 degrees, so plan your costume accordingly. Friday marks the start of November, but there's also a 40% chance of rain, so bring your umbrella to class. And looking ahead to this weekend, expect some fall weather with Saturday and Sunday in the low 60s. Live in downtown Elon, I'm Gary Grumbach, Elon Local News.
Thanks, Gary. Elon students walked for a cause this weekend to benefit those with Down syndrome. But for one Elon student, the event hit close to home.
Bella is Elon Jr. Nick Cook's 4-year-old sister. She was born with Down syndrome and earlier this year was diagnosed with leukemia.
She's dealing with a lot, and so it's hard to be here and not have her here, but like I said, we're all here with her in our minds.
Cook has organized a Buddies Walk team for 3 years to support his sister. All money raised goes toward the Down Syndrome Network of Greater Greensboro. Cook's team also buys t-shirts, and the money goes to his family.
I'm still here for her, and we're going to have tons of people from Elon, tons of my friends and family still coming out to support her.
Bella has made it to every walk that Nick coordinated in her honor, except this year. She is in the ICU.
It was really hard, especially this past week and especially in preparing for this event, and to know that she couldn't be able to come was really hard for me.
Cook says Bella Buddies started with about 26 volunteers. Now there's more than 90.
Along with Cook's family and friends, his a cappella group Vital Signs came to support Bella. They not only walked the mile, they performed in Bella's honor.
He adores her, and we just care about her so much. He's constantly thinking about her all day, worried about her.
Cook hopes to keep up the tradition and have another team for his sister next year.
Why not? Why not have a support system for Bella who can come to this amazing event?
Megan Ford, Elon Local News.
Some people say laughter is the best medicine, and one event used it to help another well-known cause. Elon students filled Fat Frog on Thursday evening for a comedy show. The event raised funds for St. Jude's Children's Hospital. 5 students took the stage, and for Grace Baldridge, a senior graduating in December, this was her last stand-up comedy show at Elon.
I've loved kind of building some sort of an Elon stand-up community that I hope will carry on after I leave. I'm really going to miss this atmosphere, and hopefully when I come back it'll be for my forthcoming HBO special. Although it also could just be because I'm homeless and my friends live here, so.
Singing and dancing was another way to contribute to a cause this weekend. Elon's a cappella group Twisted Measure organized a concert to benefit the Worldwide Book Organization. The group asked audience members to donate 1 book for admission. Performers from Davidson College joined all of Elon's a cappella groups at the concert. MC of the event and Twisted Measure member Powell Mansfield said he was glad to use his talents to help others.
We basically just wanted to make a difference. We really are trying to up our philanthropy. We really want to do more events like this that are benefiting people outside of Elon. And I think it's important to kind of give back, and we have a really great platform to do that. So that was kind of our motivation behind doing this tonight.
It's almost as good as sex.
Coming up later in the show, we'll show you traveling back in time for a car show.
This weekend, I took a trip to the past at the Gibsonville Cruise-In, just a few minutes off campus. Classic cars lined the old-fashioned streets and oldies music played from the speakers. In the midst of all the excitement, one car and one man stood out.
The 69 Camaro behind us, I did that one. The 66 Chevelle in front of us, I did that one. And probably have done over 500.
Doug Sewell builds classic cars for a living, but one in particular stole his heart.
Sometimes I call it the beast, and sometimes I call it another B word.
Today, this 67 Chevy sits on display at cruise-ins across North Carolina, but 40 years ago, she was a drag race champion.
I campaigned it for 8 years on the drag race circuit, won 3 Superstock World Championships.
Sewell began drag racing at 21 years old. He was trained by big-name drivers like Warren Johnson and Bill Jenkins.
You don't have confidence in what you're doing, you don't need to be out here. And I had all the confidence in myself in the world. So I just let it go.
And once he started, he couldn't stop.
It's just a legal rush. It's better than any drug you can get out here on the streets, as far as I'm concerned.
His passion for drag racing is so strong, he has difficulties putting it into words.
It's almost as good as sex.
Sewell eventually retired and opened Doug Sewell Performance in Greensboro. His handiwork was all around the cruise-in and caught the attention of many car enthusiasts.
It's that one right there. The motor looks like it's really cool.
For Sewell, nothing beats the thrill of the drag strip. But for now, the roads will have to do.
Some people just drink more motor oil than other people. It's an addiction. Once you have one, you don't ever want to give it up.
Saturday was the final cruise-in of the season. The event happened every 4th Saturday of the month from May through October.
Cruise-in season might be over, but Halloween season is in full swing. It was still light out Saturday, but Burlington celebrated the spooky holiday with its annual Dark in the Park event. The carnival had costume contests, a haunted train ride, carnival games, and a carousel.
And you could also hear Trick or Treat here at Elon this weekend. On Sunday, Greek Life hosted their annual Trick or Treat on Greek Street for local elementary school students. The sororities and fraternities organized costume contests, pumpkin painting, and of course, trick or treating.
Actors, makeup, and a crowd. These are some of the ingredients for putting on a good show. But this Saturday, the performers at an annual production at the Holly Hill Mall weren't as lively as usual. They look like zombies with rotting flesh, a slow walk, and a hunger for humans. It was all part of the annual zombie walk at the Holly Hill Mall. The goal? Raising money for the Alamance County Humane Society, a nonprofit animal welfare organization. And without one high school senior, none of this would be possible.
I feel like being young isn't really, it doesn't have anything to do with it. It's just going out there and saying, hey, this is what I'm doing. Can you guys help me out?
Christine Perry is one of the brains behind the Hollywood Horror Show. This is her 3rd year involved with the event, and she says it came with more responsibilities.
I organized getting the Humane Society here, and I organized all the sponsors for my shirt and for the event.
While Perry played a big role in setting up this event, her true passion lies in the makeup.
I like to play with the colors and play with the different materials that we have to make sure that the character look like they're not human. That's our goal here, is to make everything seem surreal.
Perry did makeup for most of the characters in the show, including Brandon Wagner, a zombie makeup veteran. He's been doing makeup for 17 years and says Perry is talented.
I mean, she's picked up on things pretty fast, and I mean, she does an amazing job. I learn stuff from her now.
Perry says she wants to work with theater or movie makeup after she graduates. But for now, her time is focused on what she calls her creations. If you want to see more of Perry's work, the Hollywood Horror Show runs 8 to 11 p.m. during the week and 8 to midnight on weekends in Snow Cap, North Carolina. The last show is November 2nd. To find out how to get tickets, visit our website at elonlocalnews.com.
And if you want to see a different kind of costuming, you can check out Ragtime in McCreary Theater this week. Ragtime is Elon's first musical of the year and has a relevant message. The show is set in 1906, but it addresses issues that are still present today, such as race and discrimination. Recent events on campus, such as the racial slur incident earlier this year, have brought these issues to light at Elon. Junior Robyn Dalina is the stage manager of Ragtime, and she feels that the musical is more than just entertainment.
The show is important, the message is important, and one of the things that is most powerful about it is like making people hear you, making people hear this message, and just know that, you know, yeah, we might be in 2013, but we still have these issues and it's still something that we need to work on.
If you haven't seen the musical yet, you still have time. Performances are this Thursday, Friday, and Saturday at 7:30 p.m. in McCreary.
I'm David Farrell, and I'll bring you the latest in sports after the break. Welcome back to Elon Local News. I'm David Farrell with your Phoenix sports updates. It was a busy weekend for Elon sports, but let's begin with the away games. The men's football team was on the road against Western Carolina on Saturday, but lost to 27-24 in overtime. It was the first win for Western Carolina against a Division I team since 2010. As for men's soccer, they rebounded from back-to-back losses in a 3-2 overtime win against Davidson on Saturday. But what about those home games? The men's tennis team hosted their annual Fall Invitational this weekend and took home 4 titles. Sunday morning began with three doubles matches, and Elon won all of them. The singles matches were right after, and Jordan Kaufman won the singles draw. But tennis wasn't the only sporting event on campus yesterday. It was senior day for the women's soccer team at Redfield as the Lady Phoenix hosted the Samford Bulldogs. We pick up the game in the 63rd minute when the Bulldogs put the ball into the net to gain a 1-0 advantage. But the Phoenix showed that they had some fight in them. With a chance to tie the game in the 77th minute, senior Catherine Brinkman confidently scored a goal to square the match. With a 1-1 tie, the Phoenix stayed in second place in the Southern Conference. They will finish out the regular season on the road against local rival UNCG on Tuesday evening.
I focused, I calmed myself down, slowed my breathing, and just hit it like it was practice.
And women's basketball season is just around the corner. The women will face Pfeiffer in Alumni Gym this Saturday. The Lady Phoenix are projected to finish 5th in the Southern Conference after finishing 3rd in last year's campaign. Team captain Kelsey Harris tells me that she is using the 5th place projection for some extra motivation.
Actually have less pressure on us because we don't have as many expectations. Conference is where everything counts, every single game counts. And just knowing that if we take it one game at a time, then we can help reach our goal.
Have you ever wanted to look like an Elon athlete? Well, now you can. In an effort to boost school spirit, Elon's Student Government Association is giving away 100 to 200 game-used Elon jerseys. If students answer why they want a jersey and how they will use it to increase school spirit, they will be entered with a chance to win. And that's all we have for sports today. Brent and Alex, back to you.
Well, thank you very much, David. What a great idea by SGA. I mean, I'm still looking for a Halloween costume, so I figure I'll just put my name in there right away.
I was just thinking the same thing. I am definitely going to sign my name and get me one of those. I'm so excited.
Well, that's all the news we have for you today, but be sure to visit our website, elonlocalnews.com, for all the latest news throughout the week.
And be sure to check us out on social media. Like us on Facebook, facebook.com/ElonLocalNews, and follow us on Twitter at ElonLocalNews.
Also, be sure to tune into our radio show on WSOE 89.3. We go live Wednesday at 6 p.m.
And we'll be right back here in Studio A later in the week to bring you our weekly web exclusive. Be sure to look for that online.
Well, from all of us here at Elon Local News, have a great week, Elon. So you seriously don't have a Halloween?
Hey guys, how about this jersey?